Warriors come in all different type of shapes and sizes. They stand for all different type of ideals, values, principles, and beings that stand way beyond themselves. As soldiers, fighters, people that lay not only in their sense of mark, a great remembrance for what they do, but as well in who they are, always will stand as paradigms of a certain means of possible style, a form of virtue, but as well a representation of undeniably so an undisputed pinnacle of not only standout in the tales of warriors that fight for all different crucial of honor. In today's battle, we have an inverse battle requested by a friend of mine in the talk between two people that stand with the essence of not only great age chivalry, discipline, purpose, and even though have entirely different ideals on a whole different tides of good and evil, stand with a purpose that is all tied to convictions of the past, deeper meaning, spiritual, and very heavy on the means of their origins and what they stand for. Between the famed Black Panther, King T'Challa, son of King T'Chaka, Queen Ramonda, the famed pillar of Black Air Force energy, a full-fledged African monarch, I give to you the infamous Avenger, infamous hero, famed Cat Ninja, ultimate case of demon, fullest sense of what it means to rep the absolute pinnacle, the absolute staple of what it means to be that guy, husband to Storm, and every essence of the way, one of, if not, easily the most goated black superhero to dang near goated black character, versus Silver Samurai, infamous case of rival to the famed mutant of mutants, X-Men of X-Men, Logan, aka James, or the Wolverine, the Canadian honey badger, with a mutant power that makes him possibly in potential one of the most cracked, and with his own surrogate from an HF blade. I give to you the Red Samurai of Marvel Comics, Silver Samurai, aka the case of not only one of the most built different underrated X-Men-like form of possible antagonists to even mutants, but a character that reasonably deserves to be a Marvel Rivals. I hope you guys will enjoy this battle. Let me know what more case of matchups you guys want. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I make a video. Again, I hope you guys will enjoy it. I love y'all. Let's go get it in. T'Challa, famed king of Wakanda, son of King T'Chaka and Queen Ramonda, the famed avatar of Bas, Panther goddess of the innate, leader of a great deal of tribes, all single-handedly as a guardian, famed Avenger, famed pillar of Black Air Force energy, one of my favorite Marvel characters, and undeniably so, a goated individual. T'Challa is a character with a rich history, and his nation, indeed, as being the most powerful nation on the planet, a utopia, pulling heights that humanity never thought in bounds at a certain point in time, and reinventing themselves in such a beautiful way. They reinventalized humanity in such a profound standing of being an absolute pillar of humanity, a personification of perseverance and grandstand glory. It is definitely one of the most finest forms of kingdoms in all of fiction. With that being said though, when it comes down to T'Challa, he is one of the most smartest people within the Marvel Universe, having not only training, expertise, scholarships, multiple degrees, and multiple heights as being not only a built different individual, an Avenger, a promised leader, a tactician, and undeniably so, a goated warrior. Easily one of my favorite Marvel characters. And all his history, all tells of Wakanda, their accolades, their exploits, way beyond even the planet Earth, are all to be displayed. The Black Panther mantle has been passed down from generations. He is the great-grandson of this man Bashinga in descendancy, and he reps that on his shoulders. T'Challa is the husband of the Guerrero, Storm of the X-Men. He wields vibranium as a suit, built off of kinetic energy and conductivity. Next to adamantium is easily the most durable metal on the planet, and he stands as a magnum opus of what his people in raw potential have always been acclaimed to pull. He does things like no other. He has the accolades and resume to be shown. He has stalemated, scaled, and pulled heights like no other. And when it comes down to preparation, when it comes down to great ingenuity, planning, and greater stuff, he definitely can do things like no other that can really take you to new heights of unbelievably built different status. But in the base regard, he has a bunch of different weaponry, a bunch of different hard AK abilities, a combatsmanship to do great things. Vibranium has been able to stalemate adamantium, and we know how that in Crossroads actually scales to someone else, like obviously the person that he's facing, in the case of obviously Silver Samurai. But with that being said, And every aspect of what makes this man T'Challa be so great is his undeniable will. As being the cousin of the famed Killmonger, he has been able to push past the odds of finding somebody exactly like him with vibranium, with durable metal, being able to adapt on the fly, showcase great grit, heart, and will to fight beyond any possible measure, pull things like no other. He's a fierce leader, a profound king, and deserves every aspect of respect for what he has pulled to be so much in truth, truly the Black Panther, protector of Wakanda, greatest defender of Africa, and easily goated in every regard. He would scale easily at lowest and bare minimum to multi-different tales of like building level, city block, different occasions of mixed bag town, but in the multi-crossroads of different feats and showcases I'm going to show about who he's faced through different means of planning and just simple scale for scale against Spider-Man, Captain America, and others, would easily get into the same talks of easily at the lowest and more consistent from a multi-continental mixed stand of different heights to easily planetary. You can mix stretch more. He's a very vast and rich character. Obviously, he has a lot of low ends and a lot of great high ends. But most consistently, like a lot of others, he could easily be standing as a person from easily in multiple different outskirts, as a person that's scaling to the most wackiest things. I think for someone like T'Challa, being the most concrete and consistent with how he is in a lot of different aspects of his greater high ends and the mixed technical heroes that he scales to and the mixed meta-human argument of different scale, that he reasonably could be a person mixed bag, being easily a multi-continental to maybe planetary type person, but him kind of being on a mixed iffy stand of more kind of on those mixed general territorial multi-continental stand is not too wild, but he very much can be to those same means. And as well, because of the fact we're talking about an inverse, anything that you can try to scale all these other people to that Silver Samurai has fought or banged with, he can scale the same. So same thing applies regardless. With that being said, though, that is all for T'Challa. Time to go ahead and get to this man, Silver Samurai.
Kanecho Horaga, the Silver Samurai, the mutant sage, iconic rival to the famed X-Men, Wolverine, aka Logan's son. I give to you one of the most peakiest and underrated characters, not only X-Men, but I think undoubtedly so in the Rogues Gallery, surprisingly, of Wolverine. He's easily, to me, as much the dang near natural character and complexity, as much of a great rival to Wolverine as the infamous Sabretooth, aka one of the most audacious haters in fiction. There is no arguable man that can compete with that level of determination to be a demon. But besides that, Silver Samurai, a famed beloved character by X-Men fans, Wolverine fans, and just especially Marvel, I would say, because a lot of people have requests for him to be in Marvel Rivals, is a character of multiple unique tales, as his blade is basically akin to an HF blade. His history is interesting, his design is peak, the famed metal-hardened, red crimson sun-dyed warrior, and of course, his rivalry against Wolverine. His reason for hating Wolverine is tied to the past, unironically, as it's tied to the idea of this man Wolverine, not personally, dishonoring his clan, basically having this man be tarnished, a greater legacy, downforming his means of not only calling to actually have greater stake in the world within the means of the tradition, family legacy, and him being heavily stained by the idea that retribution is execution, and going down a path of becoming a full-hardened samurai warrior, with an armor by multiple tales being either the most grade A means of steel to even the case of adamantium itself, having a mutant ability that allows him to pull things like no other, where not only is he able to cause Tadion fields and make a whole new material and dynamic sense with a great samurai blade of his father's that he has showcased multiple times to be moving like Godsking Sam with, an actual versus battle that I talked about, and being equivalent to the shredder of this man Wolverine, and Wolverine being a splinter, which is ironic because they have competed before in Death Battle, making him pretty much be a full-stained rival of him that has fought him for long years on end with the pursuit to get vengeance, as Wolverine killed his father in this pretty much greater Yakuza, Japanese story plan means of like multiple maroon stuff, Wolverine getting vengeance, killing him for a grander means, and taking away the not only means of pretty much air benevolence to this man Silver Samurai, dating the case of his half-sister, and pretty much taking away his greater legacy and greater alignment to things. This man Silver Samurai has an unadulterated hatred and deep indignation towards the famed Canadian honey badger. And to be fair, if I was him, I would understandably have the same means of feel, to be fair. But with that being said, when it comes down to to his greater means of skill, scaling, training in the art of the samurai, building himself up to literally being a modern Lord Shimura. He has multiple tells about not only his history, martial arts category, his mutant ability beyond that, but simply put with the tiny out energy fields, allows him to pretty much bypass any form of durability and split in tandem in multiple forms, allows him to cut ghosts, cut through any form of metal, cut back the case animatum, even split it, able to do all different crazy shit. He actually, for the multiple forms of being not only a great expert and genius of fighting with his katana, is very dynamic with it, can fight very efficiently without it, use it in great tandem, is mobile, dynamic, is a big ass giant of nothing but big fucking roided steel. He got compound V level strength, is able to catch people lacking very decisively, build different ways. He is a mutant vanguard, should be a vanguard of Marvel rivals, even when sent to hell, would still not stop fighting even upon his death, having an unyielding will, showcasing Doom Guy level of not only heavy means of tenacity, demonic means of like crazed agility when it comes down to the idea of being this unwavering blitzing edge, splitting edge as well, case of like not just Sage, but every essence of a behemoth. As with his skill set being so multifaceted on, again, these different ancient samurai teachings, put into modern form, especially with his armor, allows him to be one of the most decisively, again, build different case of mutants, as he showcases a means of raw dogging the case of different adversaries and different things, and pretty much working on the fly. Showcasing that not only is he a build different, again, ingenious and stuff, but showcases a hard a wit and pretty much cleverness not always shown, making him one of the most unorthodox but very efficient, suffice to say, deadly cruisers of battle like no other within the case of Marvel Comics, with again his scaling to this man Wolverine, even if he's not always decisively the greater victor of, showcases again his means of being very much relative to again the famed case of Honey Badger of Canada. So in all, with his different means of showcasing of his different not only arts of training, fighting style, shit like that, and the different things that he knows, it makes him again be reasonably a guy to not be trifled with in any form, to be respected, to hail in high status, and with his skill set and all the scaling showed on screen to what he could reasonably scale to and how both different his Tachyon blade is, this reasonably makes him one of the most build different people to possibly face T'Challa, face any other person that comes across him, and as well, just on pure different feats, accolades, and different scope, be one of the most built different people. His biggest case of actual flaws, though, is easily his hubris, his arrogance, and his heavy desire to always prove himself. And he kind of has a Star-Scourge Radon-ism to him, where he believes so heavy on honor and different scope, even though he's willing to go and be creatively built different, all different stand. And again, he yields to no person. His pride is as everlasting as his sword's tacking on energy. He still sometimes falls to hubris and different stuff, and he has a very much heavy essence of mixed tale of being a little bit grand regent to him, where he's very obviously somebody that holds himself in so high much standing that he could easily falter to his false obsession and always trying to do the ultimate means of pain. But he is still every much a glorified built different killer. But here's when we come to the actual battle, of course. When it comes to the battle, it isn't obvious, as even though, yes, there is very contingent talk between the two. It'd be a very interesting battle, and I'm surprised, even though it does very much make sense why these characters have never actually fought before. The fact is, though, is that T'Challa is easily numerous times over way more of a skilled, rack of all trades, built different, resourceful, and capable fighter, to say that because not only of his scaling regiment, the same people that this man Silver Samurai has fought, his own arguments of being pretty much already in touch with a little essence of like African Batman, Shinobi, every stylistically reckoned and full-fledged like superpower Kunta Kinte with a resolve, untamed, with a beast, unparalleled in every aspect of the way, putting beats on people that put as much beats on Silver Samurai that Silver Samurai has never been able to greater beat, because Silver Samurai has lost more times than not against Wolverine, and this man Wolverine could never even compete in the same stand of physical or greater press for press, bang for bang bar as T'Challa. T'Challa has better means of technology, equipment. His suit, even though yes, can be threatened by the Tanaka blade, could not cut fully through it in the same essence as, even though, yes, it has been able to greater and greater harsh forms, cut through adamantium through the healing factor of Wolverine and a bunch of other contexts, has been able to regrow, push past it, push past the case of his argument of being heavily, like stung with the biggest form of pressure, and even some occasions almost seeming like he's getting absolutely like wiped the floor of with an exotic heat blade. T'Challa has faced not only adamantium, he's faced similar weapons that could try to actually push back against the case of his hard A steel-coated body, but he, through his raw intelligence, ingenious, and every level of adaptable, built different warrior with a means of not only great A fight that can never be put down, and because of the fact that he is pushed against multiple people of high pedigree martial artists and as well different minds and people, outsmarted Iron Man is able to be easily top 8, so I can argue top 5 in the verse when it comes down to intelligence. Showcase that he can very much rack of all trades, maneuver around the multiple bars in a claim that would reasonably make this man Silver Samurai be put in the dirt, be entirely less affordable on different occasions, and the fact that Vibranium is as multi-rack of all trades wonky as it is, and this man T'Challa can make it do things like no other, and really surgically dismantle of a numeral like form of enumerate, or a metric form of like dissolve a lot of his capabilities, throw basically what he has back at him because of kinetic energy, and if it's not in tandem with the case of Psionic Blade, even if he would try to go straight like riding on him with it, his vibranium tools as much can bypass his mixed durability, and regardless you want to say his means of material is just steel, adamantium, or whatever the thing may be, it will not hold the same means not only to great a kinetic buildup, praise different versatility, and mix up as T'Challa. There's also just the fact that because of T'Challa having just better feats, better stand-up people, through better cunning, better cleverness, and just better credit of battle IQ and veteran of different ball-for-ball, bang-for-bang stylistic affordability, and having better considerableness to say if he fought other people in the canonicity of technically DC in a skill set perspective, he could defeat or has actually bested an arguable same mixed tandem, what makes someone like T'Challa reasonably stand just way better of a greater hold and credit of actual powerfulness, to where he could actually say confidently 90% of the time over that he would beat this man Silver Samurai pretty decisively so and effectively, as again his skill set, his experience, every aspect of his entire means, the fact that again he just has a better form of like mind, resources available, and tactical efficiency to say that he will get around, and the fact that he's part of the Avengers who have fought the X-Men, fought beside the X-Men, has been able to take, be it through situational and confines, his own wife's attacks, and others from a people that would scale to Storm and others in different aspects, shown the resilience, shown the dog, and showed the grit that he would every form of the way fully fling hands to the most ultimate form as being easily a pillar of skill and a pillar of the mind like no other in comparison to Silver Samurai. He would be an opponent that Silver Samurai would have no argument to say he could face, and by every scan that I show, with every lay of consistency, with every lay of more capable, more probable, more decisively eligible means of actual credit and truth for why T'Challa is truly one of the top of the line martial artists and capable people, we give him every rationale to say with the people again he's been able to take blows from and stand against, to be able to decisively cut down Silver Samurai, get around the Sakyon blade, counter it, use his superior range, his superior mixed different means of material, and other shit like that to really put him down most of the times in a lot of levyment. As again, he moves different in a lot of different forms like no other when it comes down to speed and other aspects of versatility. His martial arts skill as well from a modern perspective is again better because Silver Samurai, his martial arts pedigree, there's only really 2 martial arts from a modern perspective that could actually hold as much of a more efficient, sweet science, formal mixed martial artist actual means of pedigree against.
Especially as in, again, the fact that this man, T'Challa, not only scales the same people that he scales to, especially if you want to talk about natural means of usage of those martial arts, and as well, use them in just way more better tandem than him, to make him actually, as being possibly a master of over 100 plus martial arts, be just way more beyond him. The fight would definitely be interesting, but again, I think T'Challa, because again, his smartness, other stuff along those lines, experience, and just better heights and narrative staying weight as just being one of the most built different cases, different effective individuals with his technology, with his skill set, was decisively, like a true GOAT that he is, Afro Samurai dynamically outdo him. All around, easily mid to high diff. I think T'Challa gets it more times than not. I could only see possibly Harada beating him if he could try to stall out and outdo the case of T'Challa's vibranium stuff. But because of his pride, T'Challa is just way more objectively smarter, has done just way better things. He should not get the dub anytime soon in any regard, especially with every showcase and not showcase. That showcases that even with his blade, it's not so out of the league of the other people in consideration like I talked about. Hope you guys have enjoyed. As always, let me know what more Case versus battles you guys will want. If you're new here, leave a like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my army. Love y'all.